Hey everyone, I'm Mike, and this is Isaac,
Hey.
and we're here to talk about some video games. More specifically, we're here to talk about a game that's apparently releasing in the next few weeks, and there really isn't much being said about it. It's a game called High Guard, and it was revealed at the Game Awards like a month ago. And supposedly, this is a game that was being developed by X developers that worked on Apex Legends and Titanfall, and it was this huge thing that was hyped up, or should I say, it was hype paid to be hyped up at the Game Awards last month, and yeah, it didn't get a really good reception. It didn't get a good reception when it was released, when it was like revealed. It's this Magitech first person shooter that's high fantasy kind of thing with mounts, and there's like objectives and some vehicles, and it didn't look great, to be honest. It didn't look really good to me, as someone who is a fan of Titanfall and someone who did enjoy Apex Legends for a short while. Well, actually, it wasn't a short while. It's actually for at least a good year. I played Apex Legends for a good year, and then I fell off that. But yeah, this didn't look anything like those two games. And to hype it up and to have just a negative like response, it's so telling. Wouldn't you agree, Isaac? I mean, I showed you the trailer earlier.
I mean, I didn't even know that this game existed. Now, again, I really didn't sit down and watch the Video
The
Game
Game Awards,
Awards, even
yeah.
though we did talk about it. Never really had the opportunity to do it because I had to do other things. So never really had the opportunity to actually go and see the trailers that were announced for it. But from what everybody's been talking about, I mean, if this isn't a great product, I think they've come to realize that the reception that this game has gotten at the moment um, is not good.
Mm-hmm.
So the best thing you can say is nothing at the moment, and they're probably, and I think that's how they're going to approach it as such. I think they're going to say, hey, we're going to release this product. I don't know how much money that they have back, who's backing it. I don't know who are, is this being backed by big share fund holders right now,
I have
to the
no
point that
it.
the idea that this game has to be released? What's the
I have
issue
no
on that?
idea. It's a new studio that was formed by Wild Light Entertainment.
Okay, but who's
Uh,
backing it? That's the question.
yeah, I'm not
Because if
sure.
that is honestly the case, then I think they're just going to release it as is, and then let the chips fall. And it, unfortunately, based on how everybody's perceiving it, this clearly could be a dead on arrival. But if that is honestly the case, I think that's what you're just going to do. Just let the chips fall. Just kind of allow the social
Yeah,
media and content creators look at it and just kind of do what they will with it, unfortunately, because like you said, there's been no kind of marketing on the game. There's not even an attempt to even reach out content creators to try to even pump it up to see that it's the next Titanfall. You haven't really hear of any of that, so
yeah,
maybe they understand that, and this is probably not going to be a great product, and maybe they've already talked with their partners behind the scenes that this might not look good. So they might, which again, that's probably nothing. If there are partners that are invested into this game, that's not what you want to hear right off the bat, that this game could die on day one. So, but it is what it is.
yeah. Obviously,
The game launch will what happen in 2 weeks. We'll see what happens.
yeah. Well, they're already calling it the next Concord, and while I feel that's a strong word, that's a strong statement to make. I do kind of see why they would say it, just because the gunplay looks so similar and the visuals are just so unappealing and whatnot. I mean, I am a little bit hoping that there's something to this, because, like, obviously nobody wants to make a bad game. Nobody sets out to make a bad game. So I do hope that it's good. Obviously, I'm going to try it myself. I'm going to try to give it a review on it and give my honest opinion on it, but it's not really looking good. That being said, as you mentioned on the website, yeah, it doesn't really mention anything regarding any like investors or whatnot. It just seems like it was just a team formed by people who worked from Apex Legends, Call of Duty, and Titanfall, and maybe they made enough money to just fund this indie studio, and that's how they got together to make this game. But still,
How many members of the team? It's probably a small team, correct? No, it's
not that far.
pretty decent sized team. So
Yeah, it's
I would have to assume that that's a very decent
100+ team.
Yeah, so there has to be some backers, probably backing this project up. Yeah, at some point, if maybe it was a small 10, 20 man team, but by looking at this looks like 50,
50 to
50
100.
plus.
Yeah.
So yeah, um,
It's-
yeah,
it's-
that's it.
Yeah, and obviously I don't want any of these people to feel no offense to anyone who's working on this, obviously, because and obviously you do have a lot of people listing out their credentials, which is nice, so you can at least see exactly where has everyone's
experience.
experiences from.
Yeah,
So,
no, of course you're gonna reach out to a lot of people who've had experience in other companies and game development and coding and programming and layout and directing and stuff like that. Yeah, you're gonna reach out and get some prominent people to work on it. But at the end of the day, like you said, you're living in a tough situation where it's tough to sell any kind of game at the moment. And if they at the end of the day, it's you really have to make a strong first impression, and if that first impression is not good, your product can die right on the spot.
very
And
much so.
it's the same old adage. So and like and another thing to add on to that, man, getting into any kind of hero shooter in today's age is so difficult. If you're
True.
not Overwatch or Marvel Rivals, it's really hard to squeeze into that section.
Yeah,
I mean, you can even argue and say even League of Legends, which is still going strong
mobile,
in
like
that
the
in the
mobiles
mobile
up.
side of things.
And I was about to say also like Deadlock, but even that's more MOBA than hero shooter, I would honestly say.
Hmm.
And it's Valve, so they kind of get a little bit of leeway just because of the pedigree that studio has. But other than those those three, yeah, making a hero shooter in this day and age is a huge gamble.
Yeah, it's almost a death sentence if it's not good, and it really doesn't do anything unique, and the character design it's not unique. Like you said,
Exactly.
we saw that was Concord and other games that've gone this route. So
Yeah, the first most important part of a hero shooter is making the heroes interesting, and all the heroes that I saw in the trailer did not look interesting at all.
yeah, it's a big selling point.
Hmm.
It's your ultimate marketing selling point. You want people to eventually, make art and fan art and cosplay as these
Hmm.
characters. And like you said, they have to look good and they have to look interesting. And if the people don't find those characters interesting, that kills the product right
Yeah,
then and
very
there.
much so. But
Yeah.
yeah, as mentioned before, there really isn't much going on when it comes to this game because you go on their social media. There's only the trailer, and that's it. And again, this game is coming out literally less than 12 days from this video
It also
going up.
reminds me of Paddlings too a little bit.
Paladins, yeah,
With this
Paladins.
mount, base.
The mountain system, yeah, Paladins, yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that. And that game managed to have like a niche player base for a while, but eventually it fell off. Same thing for Gigantic. That's a game that I'm so sad fell off, but ooh, that game also had a pretty rough history. I'm not gonna go into that though. But yeah, it's just like nothing. But regardless, I mean, I am good again. I am gonna give this game a try. I'm gonna give it a fair shake. I'm not just going to. I am gonna go in with some like less than like. I'm gonna temper my expectations, of course, though. But still, it's just kind of a shame that these games just come out and they just games when the games come out and they're already like half baked and just I don't want to say the word dead on arrival, but it's hard to really use any other words other than that, man.
I said it twice.
Yeah. It's just I really don't want this game. I really don't want to see something like this, Phil. Especially and then again, maybe for the good of the industry, maybe it does. I don't know, man. I just have mixed feelings, especially because everyone was expecting Titanfall 3. Especially with all that build up that Jeff Keighley did at the Game Awards. Like a lot of people were hoping for Titanfall 3 or at least a Titanfall adjacent game, and he gave us this. Like it's like, come on. And it's at the point like I'd rather go pay attention to that one indie game called Diesel Knights. You should probably, if you really are a Titanfall fan, definitely check out Diesel Knights because that's basically the spiritual successor to Titanfall, and it looks pretty good for an indie game. It recently had a Kickstarter that was really, really successful. So I hope I'll hope for the best for that game, for Diesel Knights to do well. And this game, and as for High Guard, this game is on notice. Anyway, this really isn't much else we can say at this point. I mean, what do you think about High Guard? Are you looking forward to it? Are you not looking forward to it? You think it's gonna be dead on arrival? Or do you think this is gonna be the greatest multiplayer FPS game ever made? Let us know. And if you like what we do here, please rate, comment, and subscribe. I'm Mike with Isaac, and we are saying peace.